They come out on stage just after it said, it's 12 o'clock around the world, this is Live Aid. Out comes Ross, he goes, all right. It's perfect. It's pure rock and roll. Denims, Fender Telecasters, all right, and that's the world.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Bob met a few of the lads on the King's Road, said, look, there's a terrible famine going on in Ethiopia. Myself and Midge Ure. Midge doesn't get enough credit for what he did. He was very, very involved in it. And he said, look, I'm trying to put a song together, and I want you guys and the Duranis and everybody else and Boy George to participate in this song.
So we had to write something and then donate the songwriting royalties to the Band Aid Trust, which we hadn't put together yet, but that was the plan.
I don't think any of us on the day thought that it would become this massive global phenomenon.
There's a moment in the video of the making of, and I'm sitting behind the desk and Bob's behind me, and someone's trying to sing the song, and they're trying to get their head around it. And Bob said, no, it goes, it's Christmas time, don't get afraid, I said, Bob, one singer, one song. I know how the melody goes.
Back off.
Back off. Leave it to the professionals. It's fine.
Yeah. And then Geldof said to me, we're all in the control room with Trevor Horn, Midge and everybody and George Michael. And he said, go on then, Hadley. I said, I can't do his accent. Go on then, Hadley. Go on, you go and start it off.
So you were first to record?
Yeah. He says it in his book as well. And I was like, don't do this to me.
I spent 4 days putting this thing together, and we had 24 hours to record all the vocals, Phil Collins drums, and mix the record because it had to be in the pressing plants because it was vinyl.
And then all of a sudden Harvey got involved and we had Live Aid.
Harvey Goldsmith, the promoter, said, you got to get Queen. And I said, honestly, Harvey, we don't really need Queen. Like, we've got everyone else. You got to get them. What he was saying was that we had to get them because he wanted to do their next tour. That's the truth. The phone rings and it's Bobsy, darling. I said, hi, Fred. And he said, well, what's all this about, He says, it's wonderful what you're doing, but it's not really our thing, is it?
Gosh, I didn't know he sounded like Prince Charles.
Prince Charles.
Amazing.
That's so good.
Yeah. So Freddie said, and he said, he said, well, what's it all about? It's not really what we do, but we think it's wonderful and all that. But he said, well, I'm thinking of doing my own thing. And I just said, look, Fred, honestly, I really do think if there was ever a stage built for you, this is it. And he goes, what do you mean, Bobsy? And I said, well, darling, the world.
What a line.
And he said, yes, I think I see where you're coming from. And next minute they show up and blow the world apart.
I remember watching Queen.
Wow.
Come on stage, and I was sitting in the Royal Box and thinking, oh, okay, that's...
They've been doing it a while.
How you play in front of 80,000 people, yeah.
All the dignitaries there, Prince Charles, Princess Diana. It was an incredible day. And I'd love to go back and relive it. I really, really would.
I remember there was one point at which Bowie dumped one song. He said, I'm going to dump one song, I'm going to leave the stage early, and we're going to show the original Michael Butt.
Yes, the Cars
video.
and Drive, yeah.
Yeah, and then that song came on, and then the whole place went quiet, and everybody went, oh, okay, this is why we're here, yeah.
This 40 years is so important. Over the course of that 40 years, Band Aid has raised about $500 million, I suppose. So,
wow.
Literally yesterday, 300,000 people who'd never had health at all, ever seen it in their lives, will get health care for the first time. 8,000 children will get fed now into the foreseeable future.
I was doing a little acoustic show somewhere in the north of England, and there was a card waiting for me in the dressing room. I opened up the card, and inside it, there's a photograph, and I'm reading the card before I took in what it was, and he said, it's just said, look, we were so inspired by Band Aid and Live Aid and all of that stuff. He said, we funded this young girl in Ethiopia. We've funded her for 20 years, and we thought you'd want to see her graduation photograph.
Wow.
That's the reality of it. That hit home, and I thought, oh, I'm seeing someone who probably wouldn't have made it hadn't people gone out and spent £1 and bought that record.